Jump ship! We got our exit! Insane! You gotta be fucking kidding me!
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Battlefield 4 at E3 2013, and I am so excited for this one. My name is Alex Mendez, more commonly known as Golden Boy FTW. This fine gentleman right here, Corey Dunn, as you guys saw earlier. You had a great interview with Carl Magnus.
Awesome.
It looked awesome. I was super jealous sitting there in the sideline. I'm like, it's not fair. But no, but seriously though, I mean, what did we learn, I would say, from the genius behind Battlefield?
We learned so much, and I tried to do the best that I could to ask every question that I could think of that the scene would be asking. I mean, one of the things that, one, spectator mode is usually the question that you're trying to figure out whether or not it's going to be in the game. How are they going to support the competitive gaming scene? Next one would have to be about the suppressing fire. I didn't even have to bring up the fact that they were talking about suppression. That was always the thing that got brought up there that happened in Battlefield 3 was how is it really going to impact, and really what you heard there was from the support class with the LMG. I mean, so you got to saw all those different types of things that were happening throughout that process.
Yeah, I'm really excited for just, you know, the scope of what Battlefield brings to the table here. You know, you can even see the people. I had a chance to actually talk with a couple of the people and kind of like get their opinions on what they felt on the first game that we saw in the background. And they loved it. It was fun. They had the evolution of the skyscraper falling down, which was awesome. All the players really dug it, and I think that, you know, when you look at the grand scheme of things, the community is going to be very happy with the product that DICE is putting out there.
Well, so what we have here all E3 long is real gameplay coming from 32 versus 32, a 64-man server, 2 commanders that are going to be here. We're going to see a bunch of, this is raw. Everything's raw here. None of these players have played the game before.
That's right.
We're going to be finding out exactly how to maneuver throughout the maps. We're probably going to see these guys come back time and time again. I had the chance to kind of play this game for a little bit. I loved it. I was only in the server by myself, and the map that we're going to get the chance to check out is going to be Siege on Shanghai. So we're going to go ahead and hop on here. And again, just go ahead and take a moment here. Let's digest exactly what we see here in the spectator mode. You can see that there's 4 different options that we can kind of scan through. You've got your tabletop view, which is your overview map. Kind of looks like commander mode. And also first-person view, which we're in right now. Third-person view, we can actually hop out of the helicopter and get that third-person view that you get whenever you're playing the game. And then also free cam as well. So again, we're getting all of these different types of elements. And you get the chance to see exactly what we have here. Again, we're looking at the map overall here on Siege of Shanghai. And it's a beautiful map. And I think it brings a lot of dimension into the game whenever you're talking about having to navigate a heli through this map.
Well, one of the awesome parts when we had a chance to speak with DICE a little while ago was they were very excited for the elements of land, sea, and air, right? And you're seeing it, you know, come out right here, right in front of your eyes. Basically, they're excited that this urban map, this urban environment, implements, sea-based vehicles. Also the helicopters we see right here that is pretty much just tearing things apart, in my personal opinion. Alpha 4 and Alpha 11 are just doing work right now. But this is exactly what Battlefield's about. Only in Battlefield are you going to be able to get this kind of experience where you have just this mix of so many things going on at the same time, so many moving parts, yet it is just all awesome carnage, war at its finest. Now, what we are looking here, once again, helicopter shot. This pilot actually doing a pretty standout job maintaining position over at the D area. Now, let's actually break this down, Corey, because the territories actually have an impact on the commander mode. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're just talking about some of the elements from commander mode is that you can take over B, C, and D, and right now, as you look at it, currently the U.S. have C and D. If you're holding down, we're again just talking about Siege of Shanghai. This does not necessarily mean that it goes across all of their maps. It gives them different types of perks, and those assets are actually directly correlating with each map. So for instance, and actually each position, whenever we're talking about some of these flag points. So for instance, the C flag point actually gives you the capability of having a gunship. The B point will allow you to sit there and have the Tomahawk, and I believe D may stand corrected, but it's a type of scan. I think it's an infantry scan.
And as you can see right in front of you guys, the skyscraper is going to be coming down. Levolution at its finest. And now this is really going to affect gameplay, folks, because this is going to, I guess you can block the vision of the pilots. So you can actually see all this dust coming up.
Right, you see all the debris that happens again. So one of the things that you're going to notice here, again, the C flag, the C point was up on top of the skyscraper. And after knocking out the 4 pillars, they're all pretty well identified. So for those of you that are kind of questioning what exactly it is, there's 4 pillars that are on the outside, kind of harbor side, that you can spot and you can take out pretty quickly there. And that's exactly what we saw there. You got knocked down the skyscraper, and then from that point, that actually shifted the C flag down towards the lower side. And right there, I mean, what we saw throughout the game, just some really great gameplay. Just in general, just watching how things kind of evolve.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different dynamics that are coming to play. I mean, one, the skyscraper could have stayed up there the whole time. Me and my buddies, we would have had our squad.
Yeah.
We would have been spawning up on top of C. We would have been picking people off. We'd have been having the commander, hey, check out this spot over there. Take that out with the Tomahawk, or bring out the gunship since we're holding down C anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, all these different elements, but once you knock out the pillars, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, that's right. Again, we saw it at the EA press conference, and it's more than just a buzzword. It is true to form. It is the levolution. It is the level itself, the map changing before your eyes, evolving. Just the form of combat that you have to engage. That is one of the interesting things, but it doesn't just affect the large scale stuff, right? Like we saw in the press conference, right, that there was a sequence where the players actually destroyed a pillar that allowed the floor to cave in, thus pretty much giving them the advantage to take out a tank.
Over there by the B flag over in metro area, I mean, you were watching right off the start. If you hadn't had the chance to be able to check out that EA press conference, make sure you head over to youtube.com/Battlefield. There's actually a best moments from that video, and that was one of them. You're able to see one of the players there on the infantry side, our hero, if you will, spotted a tank, and then instantly one of the members there, one of the recon members, tossed it out of C4 over by the pillar that was right there by the street and blew it up and then took it out. It was game over from that point.
But the cool part is that it goes further than that, though. That's the cool part, right? So, like, it goes beyond just, destroying a floor and the tank coming down. It's, you see the, I think you had mentioned it before, you see the fire extinguisher, shoot a fire extinguisher, smoke screen comes out, right? There was one sequence in the actual showing that they were in the metro station. There was these pillars there, these I guess walls, and you were able to actually shoot through the walls, and that was actually really cool as well, like how everything kind of just changes. You make your own cover. Those are the really cool things that you get only in Battlefield. But one thing that I am excited about seeing with a lot of these players, we saw it in the last game, we saw a lot of air combat, but I want to see some tank action. I love some tanks.
I'm still all about the helis right now, watching how, I mean, I'm not a great pilot at all. But watching the helis kind of navigate through those buildings is quite impressive. I mean, we get to see some really raw talent, some Matrix-type stuff. We're just kind of maneuvering through each of those buildings.
Actually got to give that guy credit. He
he
managed
did a pretty good job.
He stayed in the helicopter for quite some time. So kudos to you, Alpha 4.
Alpha 4?
That was his name. It was like Alpha 4 and Alpha 11. They were like,
they did a good
they were
job.
the duo.
That gunner was pretty good, too.
Yeah, oh, no, without a doubt.
Laying down some
without a doubt.
gunfire.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so we haven't seen, we're going to see, as time moves on, you know, some ground combat, infantry-based combat, of course. We're also going to see some sea-based combat, some naval combat. I'm really excited for that.
I still think one of the best things, I always remember in Battlefield 3, I mean, whenever I'm out there, I'm in a helicopter or a jet, I fly out over the sea for a moment, I'm getting shot, and I'm one of the worst ones where I just pop out anyway, and then I realize, why did I jump out? Now I'm in the sea for the next 20 minutes just swimming.
Swimming through.
And then finally I ended up going, man, I'm done with this. And respawn. But no, it's one of the cool things is, I mean, you have the ability to sprint swim.
That's right.
Carl Magnus had mentioned that was not, it's really probably not the technical term right now, but it's one of the terms that are being used around the office. Sprint swim. Also, you can dive down and swim underneath the water. So if you want to go really recon, kind of special ops, you can kind of get under the water, swim for a little bit. I don't think the determination of how long you can hold your breath for has been figured out. I mean, there's different types that need to be talked about. Of course, this is a pre-alpha version of Battlefield 4.
Just about to say that. This is pre-alpha gameplay that you're seeing here. So, you know, and for it being pre-alpha, I am legitimately blown away by what the DICE team has been able to do. This isn't, you know, like me working here at the booth and promote. No, this is legitimate. Like, as a gamer, I play a lot of shooters, and I see a lot of games that are oftentimes not as far along in development. When I saw Battlefield 4, I was like, this is beta footage, and no, it's pre-alpha footage.
This is pre-alpha. This is early stages. I mean, we're going to see some great stuff over time, and watching this game evolve. Seeing some really great maps. I mean, we saw some of the campaign footage.
Yes.
We'll see a lot of that throughout the breaks as well. And we'll have the chance to be able to talk to some really great, informational, knowledgeable people about
community members
Battlefield.
as well.
Some community members.
I even saw Dasgro's name on the list. Level Cap is supposed to come through as well. So a couple of awesome community members are going to be coming up, guys who legitimately love everything about Battlefield. They're going to be out here talking about the game, as well as developers as well from DICE and, you know, EA folk, all that good stuff. That is why this is the place to be if you are, you know, just want to tune into some E3 action, right? There's a bunch of places you can watch, but can't watch Battlefield anywhere else but right here on Battlefield.com.
It's a really, really, really gutsy move that you can take to try to show off a game in this. I mean, it's pre-alpha, early stages, but it's happening right now. I mean, that's 32 versus 32. That's some impressive stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing some even more great action throughout. I mean, one of the cool things is, I know that we're doing just exhibition matches from those that are coming around from the event and just coming by, some just players that are just off the street. But really, it's great. That means we're going to see a bunch of different elements. Of course, probably all day today, we're probably going to see the skyscraper fall.
Yeah, everyone
time and time again, because that was my first thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to see how it was done. But honestly, now that I've seen it, well, now I want to go up the elevator. And, you know, so one of the funny things is so Alex and I, we're over at the EA press conference watching some really great stuff with Frostbite 3 engine and what that has to offer. But we had mentioned, I was like, man, it'd be so cool if there was elevator music. Guess what? There is. So everything that we thought, there's elevator music. So whenever you're going up the elevator, I mean, so we were at the event, so it's hard to hear certain things.
Yeah, that's right.
But going up the elevator, there is elevator music.
That's awesome.
So that's money.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's just those little things that I really appreciate. So without a doubt, though, we're going to see some great action all week long. We're waiting for players to start to come through and play the game. We just had a couple of sessions beforehand. Like I said before, had a chance to speak with a lot of the players that had participated. They really liked it. They enjoyed the fluidity of the controls. Also, a fun fact for anyone out there that is a fan of console gaming like myself, Corey's more of a PC guy. I'm more of a console guy. So that's why we're making a good combination. But they actually have the Xbox One controllers laid out in every single station. So you can actually pick up the Xbox One controller, get a good feel with it. I had a chance to play with the Xbox One controller. I really like it a lot. It feels natural, feels fantastic. Yep. And I think there's a lot of console fans out there that are going to be very happy about that. And another thing to point out as well is that, you know, the Battlefield 4 experience experience, that 64-player experience, that is also going to be on next-gen consoles.
Yep.
So a lot of people, I saw some people ask me that on Twitter, and I also saw people talk about it on Reddit. It is going to be on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yep, 64-man servers running at 60 frames per second. That's a lot of frames. It's going to be great. I mean, it's getting the chance to be able to check that out. I think a lot of people, though, the PC elitists out there, one of the great things that they do too. I mean, you have to realize though. I mean, they use a controller of some sort too whenever they're flying those helicopters. I mean, you're going from a mouse and keyboard, and right whenever you hop into the helicopter, you switch over to the Xbox controller, the Xbox One controller.
I find it easier to fly.
For those of you out there in the Battlefield community that can fly a helicopter with mouse and keyboard, kudos to you, because I flip helicopters.
Yeah, you flipped helicopters?
Yeah, I flip helicopters.
That's not good. That's
no, I think it's like initial off the start.
It's like.
The great thing is the people don't have to wait that long for a new helicopter respawn, because I just hop in and it's game over from that point.
Yeah, and also just so you guys know, we are showing Siege today. The Siege in Shanghai.
Siege of Shanghai.
That is the map that we are showing today. I know that some people were asking, are there going to be other maps? Not right now. This is
pre-alpha.
It's a pre-alpha. So we're showing this
Sink
first
your
map.
teeth in.
And also, this map is freaking awesome. Okay, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's the map design, in case you guys hadn't seen it, I think we saw some glimpses of it. It is a symmetrical map, right? B is obviously right in the middle. There are two bridges that lead into B.
You got C.
Excuse me, C. I apologize.
There's 5 points in Conquest.
5 points. And the cool part is that we actually talked about it before, was the commander mode and how the commander mode actually impacts things. So here's the cool part, right? If you spawn in the beginning of the game, you get your respective territories A and E, but you don't get any benefits for your commander. You only get benefits for B, C, and D. And I really, really like that. I like that little touch. Keeps things going, keeps the action flowing.
Yeah, so we're just taking a moment right now. Again, there's 64 stations right behind me, and there's 2 command points that you have the chance to be able to, well, and the commander stations are insane.
They are.
You got to be able to go out there and check out on the web, probably facebook.com/Battlefield, and be able to check out these commander stations. They're insane.
I want it in my home.
Oh, and the fact is, I mean, we're on 64 players. I mean, this is nuts, having a 32 versus 32.
That's right.
But let's go ahead and take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to have some more multiplayer gameplay of Battlefield 4. We're in the pre-alpha stages, but we'll be back after the break.
All right, so talk a little bit louder.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Battlefield 4 Live at E3 2013 in Los Angeles, California. Alex Mendez, also known as Golden Boy FTW here, and I am brought by this man right here, this legend, Patrick Bach from from DICE, excuse me, and we just talked about this. Patrick Bach, he is the executive producer at DICE for Battlefield 4.
Yes.
Patrick, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you.
Very well. So let's talk about just Battlefield 4 right now. I mean, obviously, you guys have had an amazing showing
Yes.
thus far here. The press conference was astounding. I was hootering and hollering the entire time. But I do want to ask you just, how has the community reception been from the reveal?
In general, it's been amazing. People have been, sending me texts or tweets, and
Yeah.
and in general, the whole internet has been lighting up with positive comments.
Yeah.
Of course, some people are, I want to see more. When can I get my hands on it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But in general, we are extremely happy with the response. It's everything we hoped for. Everything from how the press conference went with revealing the 64 players,
Yeah.
Showing the actual live gameplay,
course, yeah.
command mode, the Levolution package with everything from small things to big things happening as you play the game, the scale of the map,
Yeah.
new features, new looks, new everything.
There's so much to bring to the table for
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 this next generation, as well as even for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. You can't even forget about that. But I do want to ask you though, in regards to executive producer, being the executive producer of Battlefield 4, what does that entail for people who may not know?
It means more or less that I am responsible for the quality and the delivery of this game.
Okay.
So yeah, my job is to use all the talent that we have in the studio to create the best possible game out there. So
Awesome.
It's a brilliant job. I love it.
I don't disagree. So we are looking here at gameplay right now, and I believe the cool part that I'm loving here. You had mentioned it before, the Levolution.
Yeah.
Right. That has been a big point of interest for a lot of players. What does that mean to the audience? And for people who are just tuning in, what is Levolution?
So Levolution is a concept that we're combining a lot of the things that we've had in the past and adding a lot of new stuff that creates a dynamic and living environment where players actually not only affect the gameplay by how they fight together, but they also use the environments to fight. We can see examples of big things and small things where people when they take down the big skyscraper, that's of course a very big moment.
Yeah.
But you see the bollards, for instance, that you can use to prevent tanks from crossing bridges. Where the tank driver then needs to get out of the tank to deactivate those.
Yeah.
So you create a lot of drama by having these features. You can see small things like destruction on these walls. We have fire extinguishers that you can take out and they explode and create a smoke screen, which is awesome. We have like metal detectors down in some of the stores in the Galleria, and they're also down in the subway, where if you pass them, you can actually hear that someone is in the area.
Yeah.
So there's everything from really small things to really big things that actually spices things up and create a dynamic and very living environment.
Yeah, and as we see right here, once again, hopping back to some chopper gameplay, we saw some tank action as well. But Alpha 2 here is just tearing it apart right now.
Really good chopper pilot.
Yeah, and I'm actually quite surprised too, because these are just people who are coming from the convention floor.
Yeah.
They're not, doing anything. They're not like, well, some of them are diehard Battlefield fans, without a doubt. But I think the cool part is just Joes that are playing the game and having a blast. So I do want to ask you a little bit about the various forms of combat.
He's going for C now. This is interesting. He will try to tear them down. This is really cool.
So he's trying to take them down from the top
from the
here.
chopper. They thought they were safe because they're at the top of the building.
But you're never
not
safe.
so much.
So and that brings me back to the thing I want to talk about, which is the various forms of combat.
Yeah.
Infantry base, vehicle base, as well as the air, naval, all that stuff. I mean, only in Battlefield can you get that kind of experience.
Yes.
But how difficult is it to, I guess you could say, balance that out in a sense, and when presenting it to people out there and saying, hey, listen, you could do all these amazing things. What are the initial reactions of people who may never played Battlefield before?
I think that's the great thing about Battlefield, that you can play it in so many different ways. So it doesn't really matter who you are as a player. You can always find your role on the battlefield. Either you're just playing as a supportive person where you help your team to win, or you can be a very offensive person to go hardcore lone wolf, full infantry action. But you can also be a dedicated chopper pilot like this guy, who's apparently he's never giving up. Apparently,
never give up, never surrender.
We have very dedicated tank drivers. We have dedicated, we're adding a lot of boats to the game now, ships and boats. So people will get very good at that as well. And then on top of that, we're adding commander mode, which means that you have a strategic layer on top of the whole game, where people can actually take care of the full team and help them and give them assets and provide support for the team. You see the bollards are up here. They cut back. So just looking at how we toggle between players, we can see that all of them are playing the game in a slightly different way, which is exactly what the game is designed to be.
Yeah, I mean, as you cycle through the players, you saw there was tank action, there was some helicopter pilots, there was a lot of infantry, which is what I like to do. I like to get down on the ground pound, and rush the objective, push the objective. That's what I'm all about. So, and look at this here, actually, is one player. He's at the top of the skyscraper here, and this is a cool thing, right? Because in the last match we saw, this skyscraper did not last very long.
Okay.
It was taken down quite quickly, and that guy went jumping off the building. That's awesome. You can parachute. So that adds another element of just gameplay, because that elevated, right? Now it's elevated. It's not brought down, but when it's brought down, though, then the sea territory becomes, the sea flag becomes a much different area. And now when I guess, developing this game, the DICE guys and all that, what was the theory behind the Levolution? Like, why do this? Why change the map? Why reinvent the wheel?
I think it lies in the nature of Battlefield, that you want the environment. Games tradition has been very static and very stale, and the gameplay has been kind of suffering from that, because you can easily lock down a map if you know exactly how it's going to play and what it's going to be about. But if you add these layers, the Levolution layers with destruction and different variables that changes the map and changes the environment, players can actually use that in a very tactical way. So it's not only for drama and make the game look better. It's actually a very tactical choice that you can use it for.
It's not just to say, hey, look at the pretty particle effects. It's to say, hey, this is something that greatly impacts gameplay, changes up the what people believe is a multiplayer shooter, and I love that. He jumps in the water, gun host status. Love that.
We have some new, speaking of water, we have some new cool water features. Of course, the whole swimming experience now much better, with both normal swimming but also sprint swim. Where you can swim faster. You can also duck underwater, and you can defend yourself because you use your sidearm while in water. So the water gameplay has improved quite a lot, actually. So
I love
that's really cool.
I think it's a really cool element, to bring into the game. I even like the vehicle speed as well. Like you can drive at normal speed, but you can also make the vehicle go a little bit faster, put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and get to areas quicker. And it really does seem as if the mission this time around, as we watch here, Bravo 24 trying to get down here with that.
He's shooting at a teammate. That's not good.
I think no, I don't know. I think they're enemies. I'm not entirely sure.
No,
they're
not. The blue tags are your teammates. So.
Ah, okay. Well, but here's the thing. Just in talking about this. What I guess, in regards to speeding up the action, right? Because everyone was always like, Battlefield's great, it's a fun game, but sometimes it does take a little while to dive into things, right?
Yeah.
This time around, it seemed like you had a mission, and that mission was speed the game up, make it enjoyable. Were those things, is that critical for you guys moving forward into growing the franchise? Yes,
very much. As you can see, we changed the whole user interface, the whole spawn screen, the whole, kill-death loop is vastly enhanced. So that's definitely a big part of.
Here we go.
It's going down.
Here we go. So and we knew it was going to happen. The skyscraper's got to go down. Everyone's down with it. Look at this here. The carnage and chaos it just brings. Whoa. Now this changes up the entire gameplay, right, Patrick?
Because you can see the wave.
And the wave goes through. Now there's dust all across the map, which is going to make visibility very difficult.
Yes.
But now see is going to be down at the bottom as well.
So the pilots will now have a very different environment to fly in, and only the most skilled pilots will be able to cope with this environment.
Yeah, so you gotta have that keen eye for
and as you
destruction.
said, this flag has completely changed now. Don't shoot your friends.
Oh no! So, actually, no, they're green. So I believe
that's your squad.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, but regardless of the fact, though, I mean, it seems as if there's a lot of cool gadgets to play around with. Had a good time actually messing around with the. With just like the customization, right? And I think it's kind of telling that you guys added a lot of things to it, like the canted sky.
Canted sight. Yeah.
I love that, right? Yeah. I've never really seen that in a game before. I saw it in the single player. Didn't think it was going to make its way to multiplayer. You guys pleasantly surprised me with that one.
Yeah, there's some really cool features if you go deeper into the game. Again, looking at the customization, there's a lot of things going on there. With you can now select different knives, for instance. You can add more attachments to your guns.
Yeah.
Like canted scopes. You can have flip-up optics, for instance, which is really cool.
Yeah.
We have the whole Chinese army, which adds a lot of variation to both the guns and the gadgets, and of course the vehicles. You can see some really cool Chinese vehicles in here. There's so many things. There's so many new things in the game that you will notice after playing the game for some time. We know that people, when they play Battlefield, they spend a lot of hours in it. So you don't want the game to be too shallow. You want to have this depth that you can figure out as you go along.
Yeah, and when I'm looking at the action and all that stuff that's going on, you can see how dramatically different things have been have changed because of the Levolution mechanic that is in the game. This pilot right now dealing with a lot of dust, a lot of debris. Visibility is not as on point as it was prior. And oh man, look at this here, going to be coming down to this tank right there. Nice play by Alpha 02, as he's going to have to scale up on this one. But yeah, so I think that is a pretty cool, mechanic, that Levolution thing. It really does change the scope of the game itself, and really, I guess, add variety. Oh, that sucks.
Down.
Now, the other thing I want to ask you about is Commander Mode.
Yes.
Why bring it back?
I think it's, we're at the time where we think that, Commander Mode actually adds a lot of value to the players, not only the actual commanders that play against each other, but also to everyone on the ground. So commanders are, adding a layer of strategic value to the actual commanders, but also a layer of, epic action moments for the people on the ground. The team needs to capture points to give the commander options. For instance, you don't get all your options until you have captured all the control points. So the commander really needs the people on the ground, and the people on the ground really need the commander.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that if you don't care about the commander, it's transparent. It doesn't change the game for you. It just
you can still play the game the way that you want to play it.
Yeah, so it adds a layer of value to those people that care about it.
And then one of the other points that I was particularly taken away by was the use of the Commander Mode on tablet.
Yes.
I thought that was awesome, right? Because, there are times where I'm probably going to be hanging out in my home, laying on my bed, thinking, what can I do? Well, I can hop on Commander Mode and just play on my tablet. So, how was the decision process in implementing that into the game? I mean, that surely must have been difficult.
Yes, we have a tendency to do difficult things at DICE.
I see that.
We often talk about Battlefield from a very high concept level, not so much what you can do, but what we should do. And then we have to figure that out later on how to actually do it.
Yeah.
Commander Mode on tablet it just felt natural. Like, you can play Commander, you play on the same servers as the infantry guys, but you don't really need the fidelity and the detail that the players that are on the PC or on the console that they need. So tablets might not work from a first-person perspective that well.
Okay.
But Commander Mode is actually very strategic and actually perfect for a tablet.
Yeah.
So to us that felt very natural, and we wanted to make sure that when you play on the tablet, it should feel like the same game, and interacting with the same people that are playing the first-person experience.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm a big fan of it. I can't wait to get my grimy little hands on it and dabble in Commander mode on my tablet, and just Commander mode in general, because I just like the strategic element of it. So thank you very much, Patrick. I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Battlefield 4 is truly amazing, and thank you for breaking it down for us on the stream.
Much.
All right, guys, so we are going to be right back with some more action coming at you live from E3 2013. This Battlefield 4 brought to you by DICE. And, guys, it is awesome. We'll be right back.